Friends, how is it going? Are you ready for the war this week? Are you ready for the war this week? It's coming. This is the week we've been waiting for in the market. Everyone is pumped. We're getting ready. Listen, let's go over what's about to happen here. I'm going to talk about two stocks particularly, but I think more than not, this week is going to be undoubtedly it's going to predict what's going to happen here for a while now. This is really like the last little bit of the tariff situation coming up, like the big piece. So let's dig into what possibly is going to happen here. So first of all, this week, major U.S. economic reports. Okay, so Monday, tomorrow, not a lot going on that could really do much. I think tomorrow everyone will just be on eggshells and we'll probably see the market continue to sell down because the expectation of what's coming here. Now, obviously, Trump could start talking here any day about what he's going to do on Wednesday, the 2nd, with the tariff situation, China, all that, retaliation from either or. We're going to see what happens here. Obviously, when we get to Tuesday, a little more things cooking, but Wednesday is the day here when the tariff situation comes up. We're really going to see here. Now, a lot of people all over the place where they think what's going to happen here. A lot of people are saying buy everything before Wednesday because if these tariffs happen and they're essentially not that big of a deal, like maybe China and the United States, we make out some kind of deal with the tariffs and TikTok, who knows, maybe something as crazy as that may happen, and the market goes, hey, it's really not that big of a deal, we're going to keep going here, we're not that scared. Okay, great. Thursday, we've got more reports coming out. Friday, we've got job reports coming out. So all week there's something every day coming out that could potentially hurt the market. Now, job reports, we're not expecting much. Those are obviously going to be not great. But the tariff situation, if we can get through this tariff thing that's happening here Wednesday, and just hope it's good. We just hope. I think everyone's ready for this just to be wrapped up and in. Okay, I think a lot of us have bought in low here, and we really don't want to go any lower at this point. We're ready to start sailing back up into where we were here about a month and a half ago. So with that, this is the thing where Tom Lee has said more than once now, and a lot of other big investors, big analysts are coming out and say, hey, we could have a V-shaped recovery start to happen here. So if you're looking at my very advanced high-tech that I drew here with crayon chart, we're talking like, okay, the third here. Undoubtedly, before the news comes out here, we could see the market kind of sink just on, everyone being on pins and needles. And then, like I said, it's not that big of a deal. And the market starts to recover a little bit. And we just start to go up a little bit with a little more sell-off, and then we get one more big sell-off going towards the end of April here. And then we hit May, and we've got earnings coming out. And then the market starts to go, it starts to go back up again. This is the fairy tale story I think a lot of us would like to have going on here in the next 30 days. Are we going to get it? I don't know. It's hard to say right now, but there is a situation of where, a lot of what we've already seen with the tariffs, they turned out not to be that big of a deal. The thing with these tariffs, they could prove to be more of a big deal later on in the year. Kind of like when we start to see more, maybe inflation does get a little worse here. Things start to show that, okay, maybe, we are seeing more inflation build up here on, just general product. But it may not be right now. This may be long term that may happen here later in the year. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens here. This is something that a lot of investors have never had to deal with in their investing career. So we're all kind of learning what's happening here day by day. Going right into Big Bear. I've already talked about Big Bear so much, so I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about it too much more. But these articles are still being released. I mean, they are going after Big Bear 100%. These lawyer firms, these agencies where they are trying to get people to go after Big Bear and really push down on Big Bear. And obviously, with this situation that Big Bear had, with this miscalculations of finances here back in 2001 to 2022 to, I think there was one in 2023 too, maybe in 2024, one of them. But anyway, Big Bear's come out and said, hey, we're going to fix all this. This doesn't change what's coming here this year financially. We're still on track to do well here. And I do believe they are. I think they're probably better on track to do what they were projected than what we know, because, Big Bear came out here a few months ago giving a projection of what they were going to hit. And it was right under 160 million this year. That's not a lot, but it's a lot for Big Bear. Big Bear just captured that $13.2 million deal here just a moment ago, and that wasn't really in the new revisation, did I say that word right, of what was coming here this year. So they could easily hit that 160, maybe 165 this year, and Lord willing, they get more deals here. Maybe we could start walking up into a 170, 180 million dollar earnings this year, which would be huge for Big Bear. That'd be huge for Big Bear. But I suspect Monday, Tuesday will probably be a bloodbath in the market, and Big Bear undoubtedly will probably lose this $3 position that it's been trying to hold for everything it can. So we could easily see Big Bear, along with a lot of other low cap stocks, really take some damage. And in these articles that are coming out, obviously this is legal stuff, so it's not it's not for me to talk about, but it's the thing as it's hurting the stock more, because people see this and they go like, well, I don't like this, I don't want anything to do with this. It's just it's stuff with the company that really is not going to affect what's coming here. And I think that's where there's the line in the sand with investors right now with Big Bear. There's like we're wanting to see if Big Bear can actually turn out to be something special this year and actually project bigger quarterlies. And actually this could be the fundamental start of the company really turning around financially, because like I've said, I don't say this to be mean, but if Big Bear hasn't and wasn't getting these government contracts, we wouldn't be here with Big Bear. I wouldn't be talking about it. Nobody would. We wouldn't really care. It would just be some AI company that was struggling and had debt, and no one would care. No one would care at all. But it's the fact that they've captured these government contracts that really, really interest a lot of investors. And they've captured not one, but multiple ones since November, October, somewhere in that. So I'm sure someone will tell me. That's the interest right now with Big Bear. That's why investors are still hanging on to what's going on here with Big Bear. In Supermicro Computer, this is something that I am watching heavily. I'm talking about Supermicro Computer because obviously there's a lot of there's a lot of similarities going on with Big Bear and Supermicro Computer here. Now, obviously, very different companies, flavor, what's going on with all that. But when it comes to these miscalculations of filings financially, there's some similarities. But Supermicro Computer is a stock that I think a lot of investors are watching in the background. They've cleaned up their act quite a bit from what we can tell, and they're getting deals. They're actually doing pretty well. It's just the fact we're watching what is continuing to happen here. And listen, Supermicro Computer, undoubtedly could have a very nice year here, but I do think that everyone's watching and waiting to see, more of what's coming here this year with deals, with how the stock moves. It's still relatively, I can't talk today. It's still a very cheap stock, considering you're looking at a company that's releasing $5+ billion quarterlies here, and has opportunity to have a very well year. I know a few people that are loading up on the stock right now because they believe within the next 2 to 3 years this is going to be a company that's going to be in 10 to 15 billion dollar quarterly range, which we'll see. There's an argument for it with just tech in general. The moment here that this market finds its legs again, and this could be the week. This is like the last big hurrah. This is literally storming the beach this week, where we have all this stuff coming at us in the market. We have the tariffs, we have job reports, we have Fed talk. Jerome Powell's having this conference talk here this week. I think it was Thursday. Anyway, there's all these things that could trigger moments in the market. It's going to be a very volatile week, but it's going to be a huge week to where buying cheap, maybe it ends well this week. And if we can get past these tariffs, I believe the market will start to do well here, and we very well could see a V-shaped recovery, undoubtedly. Trump's already been giving little hints here of that, we could work out some kind of deal here with TikTok to, lighten the blows of these auto tariffs on China and what, he's pushing here. So we could see something really build around that. As crazy as that conversation sounds, I mean, that would be, amazing, because I think everyone at this point has been beat down enough. People have made their positions. They bought in. I undoubtedly will be buying back into some positions probably tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest. I will not wait past that. Even if the market goes down more Wednesday, I will not wait past there. The risk is just too high. That the tariffs just turn out to be okay. And who knows? Wednesday could bleed into Thursday, Friday, and it could bleed into next week. We'll see what happens. That's kind of what happened last time. It just kind of kept going until something was resolved here. So, friends, I'm going to shut up. I wish everyone the best of luck this week. It is going to be a wild week in the market. But I'm excited. I love drama in the market. I love money in the market. I love when things are up, down, everywhere. And I'm excited. Friends, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.